Everyone, in this lesson we'll go through creating an EC2 instance in AWS terminology. So EC2 instance is nothing but like a virtual server um, or a compute instances. So what we are going to do first, we need to connect to the AWS console. So let's connect to the AWS console first. So here we are connecting to the AWS console. So from search button you can type EC2. From here you see that under resources there are instances, and down below there is a launch instance. So you can click on launch instance. When you go through there, you will see that here are different Amazon machine images that you can select on different operating system: Linux, Windows, Mac OS, and different versions. You can see that one here as an example. Oh, you can also get that from like marketplace. If you'd like any specific apps, you can get that from there too. This option is when we create a custom image. We can see that from my Amazon machine image. So as an example here, if we search with Windows, we will get specific to Windows operating system based one. It's always better to use like for learning purpose, and free tier eligible is always better because other instances will cost you money. So just to make sure that there is no additional cost, you can use free tier eligible one. So here I'm going to select an image and just to make sure that the lowest resources wherever possible. And you can select the resources based on your needs or based on business requirements. Here number of instances, so I select one. We can provision up to I think 20 instances at a time. Here you see the size. So I'm happy with the default one. There is a with free eligible, you see that we can go up to 30, but general purpose. And this is the volume type, faster, slower. So I take the default one. Encryption, and if you would like to add any shared file system, we can do that one. Then add tag. If you would like to tag, we can give a tag here. So let's give a tag here. So tag is mainly used for to give a meaningful name so that you can get that easily in future time. So now here is that that SSH is set up. So normally for Linux, because I'm going to use Linux, so port 22 should be open, and that this is for accessing instance, that the range you see here. After that it's going to give the details here. If we click launch, okay, let me give a meaningful name here for security group name. So for simplicity, I try to make or consider all the default setup, but definitely you can set or you can modify all the inputs based on your own requirements. . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
。 . 。
based on your own requirements. So here is all summary information. Just to check one more time, click launch. Here it's asking me for the key pair that private and public key pair we need for connecting to this uh, uh, EC2 instance. So for that, what I can do, I can open a second window and create a new key pair for this instance to connect. So here, if you go to EC2 section, here you see that key pair option. Select on key pair, and we are going to create a new key pair for this EC2 instance. So here give a name, then key pair type RSA and AD25519. You are going to select RSA, and here you see the two format, the .pm and .ppk. .pm for Mac and .ppk for Windows. In our case Windows, I select .ppk and create. So and downloaded that one. Now key pair is ready. I'm going to use that for EC2 instance. So Linux 8mm. Here I'm going to select that now. Now click launch instances. And you see that instance are now launching. You can see if you click that one, you can see the logs. You can hide that logs, that option. And you see the status. And click on view instances. So here it is showing that it's pending state. Click on instance ID, and instance state is pending. So just preparing. So let's wait for a few minutes. So from all these steps you can get the details for this instance. So now here we see that instance state is running. Click the instance and get this public IPv4 address to connect to the PuTTY session. So that is my host IP address. I'm going to create a session here, give a meaningful name, set that one, passing the key here, that private key. Save these settings, click open. So I'm going to get the user here. You see that user default user is EC2-users. So that is my username to connect to this EC2 instance. So this user has sudo to root privileges, so you can connect to privileges and do the root tasks, root users task, if I say. So there are different options that you can see here. So instance connect. So if you click here connect, that is for showing you that I know that the instance I use, it will not work, but there are some Amazon machine images where it can connect to instance, like you can do instance connect from this console. Back to the EC2 instance. Okay, now we are going to install an HTTP web server and try to connect to that web server through the public internet. So let's do that one. Install Apache HTTP. So now start the Apache server and configure it to start after system reboot. So we are enabling that one. And quick check the Apache configuration. It looks good. So now we can set a firewall rule to allow access to the ports where HTTP servers will listen to. Okay, for now we can let me ignore this one. So create an index file for the web server. So let's check the web server. So we see here that this browser is not returning anything because port 80 is not opened yet. So let's go to the security section and make port 80 open. On left pane, click on instance ID first, then you can left pane and that network and security section, go on security groups. Here select the security group ID that I used for this EC2 instance. From there down below click on edit inbound rules and set up a rule for port 80. So add rule, custom TCP per port is 80 and then source can be anywhere IPv4 and several. Now we go back there, and if we refresh this page, so browser is getting the result now, so we can see that one, that this is the web server. That is very much it. So I hope you get a very good understanding how to create an EC2 instance on AWS. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching.